What's up, guys, and welcome back to Moaning. If you guys are new here, then what is up? My name is Erica. Hey, how you doing? If you're into the history of the ancient Greeks and the Romans, maybe you're just into the mythology, and maybe you're just here because you want some more non-fic book recs. Well, this is not only the video for you, this is also the channel for you. You guys are going to want to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you know every single time I post in the future. But on topic of today's video, and as you can see from the title, we're going to be going into battling the gods. So battling the gods, let's show you what the book looks like. Battling the gods, Atheism in the Ancient World is the book that we are going to be discussing today. I have had this book for the longest time, you guys, to the point where it's a little bit embarrassing to tell you guys how long this has been on my physical TBR, not just on my TBR, sitting on my shelf and staring at me day in and day out being like, why haven't you read me yet? It's taken a while, but we've finally come around to the day where I have read this book cover to cover, and it's a lot. The book is pretty self-explanatory from the cover. So Battling the Gods, Atheism in the Ancient World is exactly what this book goes into. So it's literally just one extended, I don't want to say philosophical because it is both philosophical and classical argument that atheism was not necessarily normal. I don't want to use that word because that word is never used in this book. It's more so that it was acknowledged to have been part of society within the ancient sphere and the ancient time period. So the book starts off with the pre-socratics. It goes into Homer and all of the pre-socratic philosophers, talks about that literature, and then slowly goes into Rome and then finishes off with a discussion of Roman emperors being deified. So there's a lot in there, right? And when I say that, I don't mean that in a bad way at all. Like, I mean that there's just a lot on every single page, and it's really quite a dense book, but it's so rewarding. Like, oh my god. So atheism is a topic that has actually always really fascinated me with regards to the ancient world. It's actually what I based my thesis on at university because I've really found I've always thought that it's so interesting that the ancient world, it thrives on tradition, it thrives on, you know, not only like cult practices, that was like a big thing, but also for like a community aspect, right? That safety in the religious structure of the ancient world, right? In regards to Greece, you've got, you know, theaters that were kind of sacred places and all of that, but then they would, you know, portray the gods as being almost childlike. And then you have these philosophies that then throw about different theories. You have these writers who basically attack the Homeric gods and who basically say, how could you possibly believe in these gods? And it's wild that when you actually get into this topic of like, was everybody believing in the gods all the time in the ancient world? The answer is no, but we're not really necessarily taught that in class. It's very much, this is the religion, this is what they did, and this is how it worked out for them. But also something that isn't really harped on in schools, which I think is done fantastically in this book, is the constant repetition that the Greek religion really wasn't like any religion that we understand now, because it was done so in a way that didn't have any like sacred scriptures. So there was nothing really in regards to like, you know, the Bible or like the Torah or the Quran, you know, like they didn't have something like that where it was like, here's this book of things that we need to follow. Like they just had all of these silly myths of these gods that like did these weird things. And the absence of that, they're then making fun of the gods, the apparent atheism in the world of that time. It's a fascinating topic. And this is one of the only books, if you guys know another book, then please let me know, but this is one of the only books that I've come across that has even tried to delve into the subject from start to finish on atheism in the ancient world and how it's really tackled and how people really saw it then. You know, what were the other things that were being put forward? Was there another religion or whatever? The word atheism is kind of a difficult word because for a long period that word didn't even exist, and so it comes in much later. But yeah, so basically it's just a fascinating book. And the way it goes through the philosophical arguments and also then through to Socrates' death, to me was done so well. Like, I mean, you really get on this bandwagon of like, okay, this is a thought process, it's something that people knew existed. Then all of a sudden, okay, well now they're putting it into the law. Okay, well now they're trying to control people's thoughts. Oh, now they're killing people for thinking this way. Huh, okay. It certainly is a really fascinating journey that the author, Tim Whitmarsh, really does take you on. And you guys, I really couldn't control myself with the tabbing. This is the first time that I've done like a whole tabbing system where I like literally had like at the front like a little key for myself so that I knew, and every single page is pretty much butchered. Like I was just completely obsessed with everything about this book. I thought it was absolutely fascinating, and I think it's a topic that just isn't harped on enough. I think it's a topic that isn't explored enough in nonfiction, in documentary, and it isn't done enough in like a really academic way, if that makes sense. So it's not a case of like, atheism is just a thing. It's like, here's all the examples, point quote analysis. And one thing that I loved about this whole book was that even though he would say, this leads for us to believe that this is an atheist belief or this, that, and the other, that he didn't only stop there, he would then say, but it could be interpreted this way, and lots of scholars have interpreted it as X, Y, and Z. So he gives you all the different options. But yeah, I think that I think this book is utterly fantastic. It took me a few days to read just because it was so dense. So I think it took me about 5 days to read 275 pages, but it wasn't a chore. Like, it wasn't like I was like, oh fuck, I've got to go read again. It was more so that I really wanted to make sure I did it in bite-sized pieces, to make sure I was totally focused on it, to make sure that I was totally aware of what's going on, to make sure that I was giving it my full undivided attention, because I felt like it was really worth it. And I really think that it's such an important read. I think if you guys are into philosophy, I think if you guys are into classics, but more so looking at like society and religion and politics and how religion plays a role in all of them, and how people almost like religion was in there for a community aspect, and then these people of power would come in and like usurp it, if that makes sense. Like, they would come in and just completely take advantage of it. I think if you're into that, you'll love this book. I think if you're not into philosophy and you're not into religion, you're going to struggle with this book, and that's fine. It's not for everyone. Non-fiction shouldn't necessarily be for everyone, because there are lots of topics, and you can find a book that has a topic that you're interested in. This just so happens to be my exact niche. Oh yeah, I should probably mention that even though on this channel I do a lot of mythology stuff, my niche really is philosophy of religion. And so I'm always really fascinated to read how people interpret philosophy of religion through writing, through literature. And so this to me it's a no-brainer. Like, this was my easiest 5 stars on Goodreads I think that I've ever given. I don't usually give star reviews on the channel, like in the video, but like genuinely, this book is fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough. If my tabs have not already convinced you, this book is glorious. And even then, I literally would like write, like I'm just gonna show you guys like how messy these pages were. They're like literally, I had to get extra like tabs that I could put them in to put all of my notes in, because I just had too many thoughts. It's fantastic. Go buy it. I'm gonna make it much easier for you guys and put all of the links in the description below so you guys can check down there. I have linked to every single book buying service that I can find that has this book. Every single one of them is in the description below, so no matter what country you're in, hopefully you guys can find the appropriate link. I'm praying. If I forgot one, then please, for the love of God, leave it in the comments below so that other people can buy this book. Also in the description below, if you scroll down a little bit further, there is a donation link, because I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys about how you can support the channel without just hitting the subscribe button. Again, obviously, hitting the subscribe button is the most important thing. So there is a donation link. I think the minimum that the site allows that I now have my donations through is like £1 or £2. So I put it as the absolute lowest, because I don't want anybody to feel pressured to donate at all, let alone to donate a large amount. Like, anything and everything is appreciated. So yeah, you guys can find that in the description below, along with all of the book links, along with probably every link that you could possibly imagine. So thank you guys so much for watching this book review. I hope you guys enjoy these book reviews, and I hope that a bunch of you will go and enjoy this book too, because I just think it's fascinating. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll be seeing you next time with more book reviews here on my link. So I'll see you then.